Think about the last summer you remember as a kid. It went on forever. One single afternoon could hold a whole world. Now think about this past year. It's already gone. You blinked, and somehow it's the same month again. Christmas keeps arriving faster than the one before. The gap between birthdays feels like nothing now. The weeks blur into each other and vanish. Someone your parents' age warned you this would happen. You didn't believe them. Now you catch yourself saying it out loud. You tell yourself the reason is obvious. You're just busy now. You have a job, bills, 100 small worries. Of course you don't notice the days passing. It's just a feeling, you think. It's nostalgia playing tricks on you. Maybe childhood only felt long because you were bored, but that's not what the clocks say. The feeling is real and it is measurable, and the reason has almost nothing to do with being busy. The clocks on the wall never changed their speed. Something changed on your side of them. The first person to take this seriously was a French philosopher. His name was Paul Janet, writing in the 1870s. He noticed the pattern and reached for math. Think about how long a year feels. To a child of 10, a year is enormous. It is a tenth of everything they have ever lived. To a man of 50, that same year is tiny. It is 1/50th of his entire life. The year didn't change. Your yardstick did. Every year you live, the next one is a smaller slice, so each one feels a little thinner than the last. It is clean, it is elegant, and people love it. A famous psychologist picked it up and ran with it, but he suspected the tidy math was hiding something. That psychologist was William James. He is often called the father of American psychology. In 1890, he wrote the book that founded the field, and he agreed the proportion idea was partly right. But he thought the real engine was something else. He pointed at novelty. When you are young, almost everything is a first. Your first day of school, your first friend, your first heartbreak, your first job. Each first burns itself into memory in vivid detail. A single year of youth is packed with new things. So, in your mind, it takes up enormous space. Then adulthood arrives, and the firsts run out. The days fold into routine you barely notice. James wrote that the years grow hollow and collapse. Nothing new goes in, so nothing stays. The year is exactly as long as before. Your memory just has almost nothing to file. Modern memory studies backed him up. Ask an old person to recall their life. The memories pour out of one narrow window. Roughly the years from 15 to 25, the decade when almost everything happened first. The middle decades leave barely a trace, but maybe the missing memories were only half of it. Some scientists thought the clock itself was breaking down. Here, the story leaves the armchair and enters the lab. In the 1990s, a psychologist named Peter Mangan ran a test. He wanted to know if age changes our sense of time. So he gathered two groups of people. One group was in their early 20s, the other was over 60. He asked each person to do one simple thing. Close your eyes and count out 3 minutes. Just estimate it in your head, then say, stop. The young group was nearly perfect. They stopped at about 3 minutes and a few seconds. The older group kept counting and counting. On average, about 3 minutes 40 had gone by. They thought only 3 had passed. Real time was running faster than their inner clock. Mangan had a suspect for why. Deep in the brain sits a set of cells that make dopamine. As we age, some of those cells wear out. Many scientists believe dopamine sets the speed of our inner clock. Less dopamine, and the clock ticks slower. The world keeps its pace, but you fall behind it. But this raised a stranger question. If the clock can run slow, can it run fast? People swear time slows down in a crisis. One scientist decided to actually test it, and his experiment would crack this whole mystery open. His name is David Eagleman, a neuroscientist who studies time. He started with a moment everyone describes the same way: a car crash, a fall, a near miss. Survivors all say the same thing. Everything went into slow motion. The world crawled, and they saw every detail. If that were true, their eyes were reading time faster. So Eagleman built a device to catch it. It was a small screen worn on the wrist. It flashed numbers just a little too fast to read. If panic truly sped up your vision, you would read them. Now he needed real terror. So he took volunteers to a tall tower. He strapped them in and dropped them. They fell about 15 stories into a net below. About 2.5 seconds of genuine free fall. Real fear, the kind you cannot fake. And during the fall, they looked at the screen. Here is what he found. They could not read the numbers. Not one of them read faster than normal. Their vision had not sped up at all. Time had not slowed down for their eyes. But something else happened. When it was over, he asked them a question. How long did your own fall take? They all overshot. Each one felt their fall lasted much longer than it did. They remembered it as almost a third longer. So time did stretch. But not while it was happening, only afterward, in the memory. And that is the whole secret. You do not actually feel time passing. You reconstruct it later from what you remember. In terror, the brain records everything, frantically, dense memory, packed with detail. Look back, and all that detail reads as a long time. The slow-motion feeling was real, but it was a memory. A British writer named Claudia Hammond gave this a name. She studies how humans feel the passage of time. She calls it the holiday paradox. Picture a week away somewhere brand new. While you are there, the days fly past. So much to see, and suddenly it is over. But once you are home, that week does something strange. Looking back, it is packed with memories you can always recall clearly. Now picture a dull week at your desk. It drags hour by hour while you live it. Yet look back a month later, and it's gone. It left nothing behind to measure. Two clocks run at once, and they disagree. One times the moment, the other times the memory. And the memory clock is the one that rules your life. Now flip it around. Turn that finding onto your ordinary life. Your sense of how long a year lasted is not a clock. It is a memory readout. Your brain measures a year by what it saved from it. A child's year is a fat folder of new files. Your last year is a nearly empty folder. The hollow years James saw were just empty folders. An empty folder reads back as no time at all. One engineer thinks the hardware slows too. Adrian Bejan studies how flows move through nature. He argues a young brain takes mental snapshots quickly, many frames per second, like a fast camera. An older brain shoots fewer frames per minute, so the world seems to rush past a slower shutter. That part is still a theory, not settled fact, but every clue points the same way. Time did not speed up. Your recording did. So here is the strange gift hidden in all this. If empty time feels fast, the cure is not more time. The cure is more memory. This flips the whole problem on its head. Your felt lifespan is something you build. You cannot add days to your year, but you can add texture to your days. And texture is just a fancy word for new. Novelty is the one thing that slows the clock back down. You do not need a bigger life, just a less automatic one. Take a different road home tonight. Cook something you have never made. Call the person you keep meaning to call. Say yes to the small thing you would normally skip. None of it has to be dramatic. It just has to be new enough that your brain looks up, because your brain only saves what surprises it. A life on autopilot records almost nothing. A life that keeps turning off autopilot stays long and full. The years are not actually shrinking. You just stopped giving them anything to hold. So this week, give one day something it will remember. That is how you steal a little time back.